So, you're an enthusiast in the market for a new car, but your budget won't exactly allow you to go towards the more performance-oriented cars. Well, worry not, because I'm here to tell you about 5 cars that are quite fun to drive below the price range of 10 lakhs. For starters, we've got the Renault Kwid. Now, the Kwid is a tiny little car from Renault. It's not exactly the biggest car out there. It doesn't exactly scream performance or whatever, but what it does have is great handling. I think great handling can go a long way. Performance and fun is not just about a car that can accelerate fast in a straight line. Sure, that is, acceleration is exciting, but I think handling goes a long way, especially for smaller cars like this. And when it comes to handling, the Kwid is a great handler. Now, when it comes to performance, the Kwid is powered by a 3-cylinder 1-liter engine that puts out about 67 bhp of power and 91 Nm of torque. These figures aren't exactly the most exciting or exhilarating, but tell you what, at least the car is fuel efficient. And you can have a ton of fun around a twisty road, so what more do you want? Next on our list is another such small, compact and fun vehicle, which is normally known for being more pocket-friendly and family-friendly, but let me tell you about a different side of it. It is the Maruti Suzuki Celerio. Well, I had the Celerio with me this one day when I went to Mahabaleshwar, and let me tell you, it was a lot of fun around those twisty roads. You might think that a tiny car like the Celerio might struggle around those corners or at those inclines, but it really doesn't. It's quite a peppy little thing, and it knows how to have fun. Powered by similar 1-liter 3-cylinder, but it puts out about 67 bhp of power and 89 Nm of torque. Now, the Celerio is front-wheel driven and can be had with both an automatic or a manual variant. I would recommend sticking to the manual because the AMT is not as fun as the rest of the car is. Another small and fun car to drive, which is also a Maruti Suzuki yet again, is the Maruti Suzuki Ignis. Now, the Ignis' styling could be polarizing. It may be up to your appeal. You may not like it, but I for one think it looks quite quirky. And if you're a youngster, I think it's quite the quirky looking car for a youngster because it's got the right colors, it's got the looks. Sure, you might not like what it's doing in the C-pillar with the whole Adidas logo or whatever, but the rest of it I think is quite a unique and smart looking car. Now, the Maruti Suzuki Ignis is powered by a similar engine that you find in the Swift, but slightly detuned. This 1.2-liter 4-cylinder puts out about 82 bhp of power and 113 Nm of torque. Those figures in such a tiny package, it's nothing but fun, let me tell you. Alright, so this one is not as tiny as the rest of them. It's a hatchback, it's tiny, it's a sub 4 meter car, but not nearly as small and compact as the rest of them. And it is yet again another Maruti Suzuki, the Maruti Suzuki Swift. While the Swift is something that needs little to no introduction, it's been a fun to drive car, and I think a lot of enthusiasts have liked it for almost the past decade and a half now since it's been around. In fact, it was a segment leader for the longest time, and it's only now been dethroned recently by other manufacturers that have sort of like added a bit more spit and polish. But even now, the Swift is a great package for the money, the kind of car you get, the kind of looks you get. I think it is right up there for the kind of enthusiast vehicle you can get. Now, the Swift is powered by a 1.2-liter 4-cylinder engine that produces about 89 bhp of power and 113 Nm of torque, so slightly more uptuned than the Ignis. And all in all, this car is a lot of fun to drive every time. I've had the Swift with me. I remember this one specific occasion where I took the Swift and I participated. I was going along with Raid the Himalaya when that used to happen. And it was a stock Swift, but it was so much fun on those roads. So much fun. So yeah, I would definitely recommend checking out the Swift. And if you want to have even more fun, then do get it with the manual gearbox because you'll have a lot more fun. It's a good slick shifting gearbox, so you will have a lovely time. Alright, last but not the least. Now this one personally is my favorite sub 10 lakh rupee car of all time when it comes to just having pure fun. It is the all-new Citroen C3. Not just any variant, but the turbo 1.2-liter engine. Now, it's got a 1.2-liter engine that's turbocharged and produces about 110 bhp of power and 190 Nm of torque. All of this power in just that tiny package, and it is amazing to drive. The suspension is so good, the composure, the handling. To me personally, the Citroen really sort of like struck a mark because I used to own a Polo at some point, and to me it felt like the spiritual successor to the Polo I once had. And I can't think of another car that brings that compact practicality and that kind of fun in the same package at that level. So yeah, these are 5 cars that you can afford under 10 lakhs and are quite the enthusiast machines. They do everything else well, but I particularly think that they excel at being fun to drive. So if you like what you saw, stick around to the Top Gear India YouTube channel for further such news. This is Gavin Rodriguez signing off.